Welcome to the part 2 of Power to Unite with Elvira, kung saan po special guest ulit natin si Archbishop Menamparampil. Siya po ang Archbishop Emeritus ng the Archdiocese of Guwahati. Sa part 1, napaka-interesting yung nakita natin yung pagiging misyonero niya ay nasa puso niya. At andun yung desire niya to serve the poor, to serve the younger people and to inspire them. Kaya ano kaya ang pag-usapan namin ngayon? Siya pong subaybayan nyo sa pagbabalik ng Power to Unite with Elvira.
The Eucharist equips us for the mission. Jesus does not merely say, go. He assures us, I will be with you. These are times when the faith of even ardent believers itself is shaken. We need extraordinary courage and profound spiritual conviction to go forth to the other side of the street, to the remotest slum, the village beyond this river, the other mountain, to people of other convictions, to people really at the periphery.
Archbishop Thomas, thank you once again to agree we should continue our beautiful conversation because I'm learning a lot. So in your encounter and then experience in traveling, what did you see? Because so many things happening now, problems in Middle East, especially the threat of Islamic fundamentalists, and then I remember during the Synod of Bishop before, in the words of God, there was this Indian representative telling us that there was this kind of persecution in India, this kind. So I was very surprised, that minority are being persecuted because of their faith. And there is certain instances that, Catholic are not allowed anymore, especially the missionary are not allowed to enter India. They become very strict with that, So how do you perceive this kind of indifferent, attitude with the Catholic? What is your perception? How do you handle all these kinds of differences that is happening now?
I must admit there have been cases of persecution and harassments in individual situations in different parts of India. But if you were to ask whether that is a common phenomenon, I would say no. I have no direct experience of persecution anywhere within my own area where I have been close. But there have been individual incidents, very often due to misunderstanding what you said,
Yes.
a local officer, and some mistake maybe on our side, or two ethnic groups ill at ease with each other for other reasons, maybe economic, maybe political, maybe land related, maybe crop related,
Okay.
market related, and if they happen to be of different religions, taking on a religious shape.
Yes.
So if it was handled for the real issue, the economic or political, maybe things could have been, or ethnic difference, things could have been cleared. But very often when it accentuates itself as a religious tension and nobody is helping to resolve the issue, we become victims because we are a minority, we are small.
Yes.
And but if I were to say that as though Indian society is intolerant, I would say no, it is not true. Indian society is very tolerant and Hindu society is tolerant.
Okay.
But there is a radical group like they have in other religions too, some people who exaggerate about their faith or interpret their religion in a way that is not in keeping with the broader-minded people's attitude about faith. Then starts a bit of trouble. And there have been cases. One thing I would say in this connection is when a few unpleasant incidents have taken place, occasionally memories, negative memories remain. if there was a conflict sometime in the past, memories remain of recent events and sometimes prejudice built over long periods of time. Among Hindu Muslim friends, we are neutral in this respect, but historically Islamic forces defeated the Hindu kings, maybe temples were destroyed, whatever. So what happens is memories remain after a long period of time. And maybe even we have to understand a little bit the Middle East problem also, the colonial memories, recent memories, perception of stronger take advantage of the weak, real or exaggerated, whatever it be, unless the memories are healed, unless anger is brought down after incidents,
Okay.
things will happen, are likely to happen again. In our own small way, when ethnic groups are in conflict, first thing is not to tell what is the right thing to do.
Okay.
First thing is to attend to their anger,
Okay. How do you do that?
collective anger.
Uh-huh.
And you had an earlier conversation, we had said, listen to them.
Okay.
Listen to them, that whatever you feel they have done wrong, try to understand. They may have been a reason for you are
Yes.
doing the wrong thing also. There may have been a reason. Kindly tell us, what is your grievance?
Yes.
What was the problem behind it? We don't
Yes.
fully understand. When they see sincerely that we like to know, then they begin to explain. Maybe they exaggerate, but we give them sincerity of purpose. We give them confidence.
Yes.
Tell us exactly what you feel. Even if it is not true, they have a right to say what they feel is the real reason. And in that process, you see gradually the anger comes down. If not goes down completely, a little bit. And when you show even greater respect and maybe a few more interaction, anger comes down in a considerable extent. After that, it is worthwhile talking about dialogue, reconciliation talks. When the anger is high, it's just useless. And many times the government administration and sometimes official peacemakers come when the anger is high. And
no
it's
use.
not easy to talk. And if they talk, it is not leading to any purpose. This is, I'm speaking only from experience, that in our own small way, in our own individual context, we help to bring down the anger, create an atmosphere of preparedness for talking, and confident, an atmosphere of for mutual confidence, at least to initiate the conversation. The anger may rise in the conversation if especially they make mutual accusation. So we always encourage them, don't refer to the past, refer to your common destiny. We have to learn to live together. Think about the children, think about your
The
crops,
future.
about education, about the future. And there you find that rather than referring back to the grievance you have, grievances seem to come down the moment you look to the future. When we give this kind of an orientation, we help the communities considerable. So removing anger or reducing anger is a great mission today in the small context of little quarrels in the family, in the neighborhood, between ethnic groups, between nations, and between civilizations. But I don't think many are paying attention to this dimension. And as long as we do not pay attention to this dimension, all our peace efforts will have limited possibilities, limited future.
You know, they have to solve among themselves.
Exactly.
If husband and wife will not learn, to listen to each other, it will be disaster for the children.
Once
you know?
anger is down, second message we give is life is full of compromises. We
Yes.
have to learn to compromise a little bit in the family. If I am living here, I cannot live some other place. If I have opted for one career, I cannot opt for another career. So life has to, you have to make some compromise, certain options that are possible at a given circumstance. So we understand you would like to have, say, all this land, all this crop, all these advantages, but we know when you are living with others, we have to share the land. So can we compromise on some areas of your expectation? Can you take a moderate position within possibility? We do not tell what they should give up. What they should compromise on, we do not suggest. That's for them to decide. But for the sake of your future, for the sake of the
Peace.
future of the children, and creating an atmosphere in which a future can be built, can you think of some areas where you can compromise? And if you allow time and respect them, they begin to suggest maybe on this issue we can compromise. maybe on the other issue we can compromise, but this we will not. We said, sure, what is central to you, do not compromise. We will not ask, but see if the other person will are happy with the compromises that you are willing to make, and they themselves will suggest maybe they can compromise on this, because they also know, they are also realistic. After a while they say, very many things they are willing to compromise for the sake of common good, because if I produce, I want to sell, I need a market, I need you to buy, and vice versa. If you have certain advantages that I don't have, so your presence in this society is something valuable for us, very precious to us. It takes them some time to understand that, but once they understand, compromises come, then peace come, and we reach a stage in which they said, we do not know why we fought at all. We were good friends before. Why did we fight? This is the history of what has happened in some places.
It's very important, the word compromise here, because it's not very easy to accept, because sometimes people now, the tendency now is very secular, you know,
Yes.
what is mine is mine.
Yeah.
The more I have, the more I will accumulate. That is the mentality right now. That's why we say the gap between the rich and poor are so big already, you know. But here, we need also to see that problem will continue if you keep on accumulating without giving others a chance, you know,
Yes.
isn't it?
And also seeing that their presence, their talent, their abilities are complementary to our community's ability, present position, and so on, so that the complementary nature of different communities, ethnic groups, and so on, once you make that clear, they say, well, our future is greater together, rather than see you defeated or crushed or eliminated. You know, that atmosphere changes. And so when it does happen, they are happy that you went through this process of, let us say, the anger reduction, compromise on certain issues, and developing a vision of a future together.
Yes.